Let's do this. Woo!
Hello. We look like we're in 2 different rooms.
I know.
Why do we look like?
Honestly, it's the curse of doing this in the afternoon, and you're black, I'm white, you know, up, down, turn around.
Upside down, you turn.
This is literally what y'all ask for. Okay, actually, no one's asked for this. Literally,
a TBR.
Yeah, no one has even.
I'm sure you guys are definitely wondering
what the Roomies are
reading in the month of June.
Yeah,
and
listen.
well, by golly, we're giving it to you. And we've got like 4 minutes on this memory card.
Let's
so
go.
Stick around.
Bum bum da 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 bum bum. Okay, so June is obviously also. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Christine.
Yes, this is the Roomies Digest.
Yeah,
we did not introduce
ourselves. You guys
ourselves.
know that
we're clearly normal. Clearly, we are not.
Are you okay? Are you having a seizure?
It's hot in here.
It is hot. Listen, we're trying to be more consistent. This is part of that consistency. Thanks for checking in and hanging with us, okay?
Yeah.
We're doing a TBR. That means to be read for you new people here.
I gotta calm down.
No, I think this is the right energy that we need.
Oh,
you know
are we starting off strong?
Okay, wait. First of all, it's Pride Month. Let's say Happy Pride.
Yeah. Happy Pride! Happy Pride!
Yeah, there we go. Happy Pride. Woo!
You might have seen us walking up and down the streets. We were in a parade.
We were for the Academy.
Yeah, that was fun.
Let's get into the books we're reading.
Yeah.
Right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Beautiful Venom.
What?
It's very appropriate that my book is black and yours is white, you know? It's very yin and yang.
Yeah, I like that. I specifically bought this.
She actually shook me to my core with this.
Yeah, I don't really buy books, I don't buy books to read classic literature is what I want to say.
Okay, yeah, you don't buy the Kindle Unlimited classic literature books is what you're saying. Yeah.
It's rare that
But it just so happens that she has hooked. I'm actually going to pop up the screenshot of our text conversation. Just this one little part.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if y'all have been with us since the beginning when we read Credence, y'all know what this means.
Yeah.
And that's all we're going to say. But yeah, Beautiful Venom is Rina Kent's newest book. It just came out. I had to get a new, fresh book because Manda reads dark romance so quickly that every option I had, she was like, read it, done.
She couldn't possibly have read this one because it's not out yet.
Brand new, baby. Try and get me now.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was my month to pick because it was my birthday month, or it is my birthday month. And so yeah, I picked this book right here, which is the start of like a dark romance, ritualistic, hockey, like college secret society, like murder, death, you know, messed up kids book series. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. I do have to admit, I'm gonna tell y'all this secret just between, you know, us. Monique and I both finished this book already, so yeah. When we go to Sprints at the end of the month, what are we going to be reading?
Kiss the Villains. That's my next book.
All right, well, go into it.
I will be reading Kiss the Villains by Rina Kent. It is another book set in, like, I guess this, I don't know if it's the Rina-verse.
The Rina-verse?
I'm calling it that. I'm new to this life.
Yeah. I am too. This is only my second Rina Kent, but I have liked the 2 that I've read.
Kiss the Villains is about the uncle as a character in this Beautiful Venom book, and they're like, if you want to know more about his story, read this. And I said, well, don't mind if I do. So that's,
which is appropriate for Pride because he is gay.
Yes, he has a relationship with his student. And it's messy and probably violent because they seem like criminals. Yeah, they're definitely like part of a member mafia or something. Yeah. Which is, going back to this one, the plot of this one, it's a girl who's trying to break into the secret society because her sister has been put into a coma. And she thinks someone in the society did that. Caused it. So she's going in to be a detective. So that's the premise of this book. It gets crazy from the beginning. I'm going to tell y'all, check your triggers. Underlined underscore. There's a lot of dubious consent, like non-consent consent, if that's what it's called. It's like where like they give you a safe word, and if you don't say the safe word, anything's possible. That's what this is. Yeah, right here. Check it all. Okay. There's lots of things. Murder. And that's not to say that our main character isn't about his safe word, because he is. Murder. Lots of murder. But if she doesn't say it, it's just everything's off the table. Anyway, okay, so those are the 2 books, you know, that you're going into. Another book that I'm going to be talking about. Ooh, heck yeah, I love this. This is for Foe, Fantasy Over Everything. That's my book club for my Patreon. We are reading The Devils, and it is a fun time to be in Foe right now because we have just switched up the game and how we kind of do book clubs. So we are using Storygraph to essentially chronicle
our thoughts and kind of have discussion questions that get us ready for the final discussion. So we started it last month, which is when this book came out. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm having a great time with this. I'm vlogging it currently, so y'all can catch that vlog later. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, Devils is like, I loved Joe Abercrombie when I read Half a King, also for Faux. Now we're reading this together and everybody is loving it, so he's done it again.
Speaking of my book club, Baking Book Club, we were gonna read this book. It's called Bitter. It's called Bitter Honey. I said I thought it'd be perfect for our book club because we read a lot of books like Black Cake, Butter Honey Pig Bread, a lot of family, mother-daughter, familial relationships. A bridge has been burned. There's a secret we don't know about in the family.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is perfect. It's about 4 decades. I think they start in Sweden. A scholarship takes Nancy from Gambia to Stockholm. And that's where she meets, you know, a scholar. And then in 2006, there's one of the characters is like famous in Sweden. And it's just, she's learning about her like family history. And I'm like, this is perfect. This is perfect for our book club. And we can do something with honey. It's going to be great. So I put that in our, you know, Patreon announcement. Turns out this book is not published, everyone. This book is brand spanking new.
This is an arc.
We can't read this if it's not published. This book doesn't come out till November. So I will be reading this, but no one else in my book club will. And you know what we're going to be reading instead? Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. You know, this is a much lighter read than the other book I picked for us. The main character in this book is a food scientist, and I thought this would be nice. And a lot of people I thought had read it hadn't. So I was like, this will be great. We like Ali. We got to catch back up. She's got new books dropping every month. So I was like, let's get at least the last year's releases done. So we're reading Not in Love. It's about, I think a company is getting taken over, like
her company that does food science, yeah.
And so the guy that's taking over and her, they have a little fling, and it's like tedious because there's a lot of businesses.
Right.
A relationship built from wherever.
Yeah, I mean, they're just around each other. It's like typical Ali Hazelwood, so like expect that. It's very fun, very cute. Yeah. And it's definitely like, you know, the miscommunication of, I know that you're here for my job, and he's not there for that at all. He's there for the girl. So
there we go. Not in Love.
Great. It's so cute. Speaking of Ali Hazelwood, I am going to be reading Problematic Summer Romance. That is the one that just came out. I just bought it. I am ready to read this book, y'all. It's an age gap romance. I was under the impression that she was older than him. Now I'm realizing he is older than her. That's okay. I still love an age gap. I think it's 12 or 14 years. It's one of those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like a pretty like large one.
Okay.
And I haven't read a 14-age year gap in a minute, so I'm excited. I cannot wait.
What did they do?
Essentially, so he is her brother's best friend. Okay, and then somebody's getting married. I think it's her brother, and they're in Italy. And she's like, man, I've always had a crush on that Connor guy, haven't I? So the light just went out.
Looks even better, I think.
Whatever. Listen, this is kind of old school Roomies style, but anyway, she's like, I like you. He's like, I'm too old for you, for real. Like everything you are even about, you're like fresh out of college. I have a literal job, a career. Like I'm settled. Like, don't you want to live your life? So anyway.
How young is she though?
I think she's like 26 or something.
Okay,
and
that's
40.
Fine. Okay.
Or about to be 40. I think.
Cool.
Okay, don't quote me. She could be 23 and he could be 37 or something.
I just didn't want her to be like 19.
No, she's not that. No, she's like out of college.
Okay,
fresh.
Great. Wonderful. Back
Maybe
in it.
out of grad. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Don't quote me. Don't even.
Back in it.
Don't hold me a gun. Don't hold it against me. Okay, but y'all, that's what I'm reading. I'm excited. It's gonna be great. Next,
really quick, I've been trying to read this book for a while.
Didn't you talk about that in the last TBR?
Yeah, and I'm down. This is where I am. I'm like at this point, and you'll be like, Monique, if you're this many pages, I don't know, y'all. Something. It's like it was just a book I was able to put down, and I like put it in a tote bag. I changed my tote bag. Forgot it was in the tote bag.
Change the tote bag.
Yeah, the book that's in the tote bag has never been put down. It's
you
a
really
shock.
never see those books ever
Yeah,
again.
I've lost a lot of books that way.
You really have. And blamed it on me.
So anyway, I found this book cleaning up my room, and I was like, wow, I should read this. So
look at you finishing books.
I know, concepts.
All right, so it's Pride Month. Obviously, I've got a Pride TBR here. If you follow us on Instagram, you've already seen these 3 books, but I'm just gonna go through them really quick. First and foremost, we've got Becky Abertali and Adam Silvera in What If It's Us. This is a male-male romance, essentially about these 2 guys who meet at a post office. They both have different things going on in their lives, okay, that brought them here. One of them is like shipping their ex's stuff to them. The other one is going through something else. They meet and they try and go on a date, but then something in the stars, it's just like not aligning. It's just not adding up. Okay. They feel like they have these like missed opportunities, right? And so it's very like reminiscent of Adam Silvera's other work, like the one who dies at the... They both die at the end. So that's what it's reminding me of. This has been sitting on my shelf for forever. I'm ready to read it and see if it needs to be unhauled or if I'm going to keep it. So listen, that's on the list.
Yes.
The next one is Before We Were Trans. This is a trans history, okay, by a trans historian, Kit Hayam. And essentially this is a global trans history. So there are different ways in which we define transgender in the U.S., obviously throughout history and time, okay, there have been different like genders, not just the binary gender of male and female. So this really goes into the history of that, like where did that start, what other cultures have these like spiritual genders or like different types of, it's very, very interesting. And so I'm really excited because I think this is going to give a different like outlook. I've never read anything like this about just like trans history in general. It's always been like American trans history, I believe. So I think this is going to be really, really great because, I mean, it hits countries, where did it say? It had like 3 different countries that already had talked about, maybe it was on the review on Storygraph. Never mind. Anyway, but like there are just many different countries. I'm really, really excited. I feel like I always read a nonfiction during this time about just like queerness in general. Yeah. And I think this one's really going to hit, so I'm excited. Last but not least on my Pride TBR, this isn't an extensive list, but these are the ones I'm for sure going to be reading. It's Bury. I know, dude. I keep saying that's so weird.
Bury our midnight bones.
Bury our bones.
Oh, sorry, I said it wrong.
In the midnight
soul.
Yeah, I was like, you gotta get that last word right. Bury
our bones.
But yeah, so this one's by V. Schwab. This is her new sapphic toxic vampire romance. Follows 3 different timelines: 1800s.
It's sapphic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. 1800s something and then 2019. I think it's 1819 and 20th century. But essentially this one just follows 3 different women. I don't have any idea if any of the timelines overlap or anything. I'm not really sure. She didn't explain that. All she said when she like talked about this book is that this is a book from her heart. This is like something that's really important to her and it's like feels very important and very, very good. And it's a story that just kind of like broke her heart and like put it back together again. Toxic, crazy vampires.
That sounds fun.
Thick.
Is there a copy for me?
Yeah, you have a whole entire PR package that I brought home for you. It's signed with your name and everything.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm adding that to my TBR.
You are so funny.
Bot.
Anyway, but yeah, she's so great, and so I'm excited because I'm y'all know I wasn't the biggest fan of Addie LaRue. It's giving Addie LaRue. But I'm hoping it's going to be a better one.
Addie LaRue was my girl. That was our first one we didn't agree on.
Yep, that's true.
Memories. I am also, I guess I'm reading it for Pride, but it's Pride Month. But I got this book. We were in Portland. This is called The Guy She Was Interested In Wasn't a Guy at All. Oh. It's the Q and LGBTQIA+. It's the Q. So the premise of this is she likes, like, really into music and a lot of her friends aren't, so she goes to the CD shop. She meets this cool stylish employee at the store dressed in black from head to toe. He has an air of mystery about him. Taste of music impeccable. Turns out though, now she has a crush on him. Turns out it's her classmate. It's Miss Sinky from her class. It's a girl.
Oh, she goes to all girl school?
Yeah. I don't know if she's an all girl school, but the guy is a girl in her class.
I love that, honestly.
Yeah, so
mistaken identity.
I'm like, oh, young Please. Love. And yeah, so I bought
but so yeah. Cute.
I wanted to get a couple of them. I was like, let me just be normal.
Yeah, and get one. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Yeah, good choice. I love it.
And then this was an overlap from our Galactathon, which we'll have to talk about in the wrap up. We got a lot of sci-fi last month. But this is the prequel, sequel. it's a prequel to...
It's the way that you hate this book.
I don't even know why. I don't hate it. I just hate that it's not matching any of my books. It's another thing. But this is the newest addition to the Southern Reach trilogy that takes place before all of the events of the trilogy. So it's just a Southern Reach novel. It's called Absolution by Jeff Vandermeer. I didn't get to it because I knew this was going to be heavy. Like, I just knew that the words that were being written were going to be like, what's this book about? But great question. What is this book about? This book is just about the events before Annihilation. So, like, they noticed this thing has been, brought down. Everyone's trying to figure out what it is. A lot of military investigation. This is before the group goes into...
Right. So before they have the task group to go into the scientists and things to figure out what is taking over the
This
world.
is decades before Area X forms.
Okay.
With a science expedition whose mysterious end suggests, blah, blah, blah. Many years later, the Forgotten Coast files wind up in the hands of an operative named Old Jim.
Old Jim.
Yeah, he starts pulling... He starts putting
some strings.
I don't know if it stays. See, that's the thing about Jeff Vandermeer. I don't know if it's gonna stay 10 years before it starts, or if it's just gonna something happens before Annihilation, and then we end up Old Jim finds the files. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's something I anticipate getting to. But I have a lot going on, so we'll see what happens in August.
And then last but not least for me, for my Pride TBR, I am going to be reading Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. This is essentially like a queer knight's tale. This was also a gift from Elizabeth from Museum Greg Reads for my birthday last year, I think. But anyway, we're really going through the owned TBR.
We got to.
Okay.
In this economy.
And I'm just really excited about this book because essentially, like, we know the story of King Arthur, right? He gets with Guinevere, he gets cheated on, you know what I mean? And then everything is really sad. In this storyline, Gwen and Art are both gay. So they're like each other's beards, basically. Because Gwen is in love with like the only lady knight.
Yes.
And then Art is in love with her brother.
Got it.
So it's like already messy, and like y'all know I'm like all about that drama.
They're supposed to get together.
The tea is that they're supposed to be together, and they're in a society where like they can't be gay.
Got it.
So I think it's gonna be a really cute, fun time, and the fact that like they're gonna kind of make this friendship because they don't know each other previously, so they're gonna make this friendship over this like shared kind of experience. I think it's gonna just be like really cute and fun. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Plus I know this is part of like other books, so let's go. A Knight's Tale. Let's go. I won that up, real. Okay.
And the feast to the parlor.
That's right.
And we are reading Black Salt Queen for Chaos Along. That is a readathon that we have in our Patreon.
It's like a read-along buddy read.
Yeah, we're kind of just...
It's a very casual reading thing that we
Not
do.
really any like reading sprints like on camera, but
Right.
like just...
We do them in our community chat.
Yeah.
So it's like Discord sprints if you've ever done that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this one is extra special because it's a Violeteer publication, which is our friend Kevin's bindery. They focus on queer and BIPOC works of art. And this, look at this cover, y'all. It is literally art in our hands. This is a fantasy
romance.
A fantasy romance, queer. It is filled with passion, romance, betrayal. And it's set in a pre-colonial island. So I am a little intrigued by this because I'm not a fantasy girly, but there's something about her. Yes, I might have pasted off the cover, but there's something about her where the women in the secrets reign. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it feels very like women centered.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be a good time. Essentially,
a lot of backstabbing.
They're like two queens. They both have kids. They're trying to get the kids together and like basically like take over the world. I think one has nefarious kind of like, reasons. The other one is just trying to like make sure the country survives. So it's like very political intrigue. It's very much like, this is Kevin's taste. He likes political intrigue and like things like this, like kind of messy, but also there's like a nice love romance part to it. So I think it's going to be great. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And like you said, the cover is so cute.
I love a fantasy that's based with like a little bit of political intrigue. Like that's something I could get behind.
Right.
Like if it's too magic based or like I don't even really want the journey.
Now they do have magic though.
Oh yeah.
They do have magic. I think it's elemental magic.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
I'm still discovering my fantasy likes. Christine says that I like urban fantasy.
You do.
I don't think this is what that is, but
this is not.
But I think a story with a women centered, you know, who's not gonna like that?
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is
it's gonna be great.
Wrapping up our June TBR with lots of good books to read. If you want to get more involved in our community, check out the links below. We are literally everywhere, y'all. We've got our Patreon, we've got our links to classic literature. If you want to join us with beautiful Venom, you know, Instagram, TikTok. We will see you on the interwebs. Until next time, bye.
Bum bum da 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 bum bum da.